be using 4 boxes of L'Oreal HiColors in the color Magenta, and I have a frontal with 3 bundles that I'm going to dye. I'm going to open the packet from the end because it's easier to get the product out that way. And then I'm going to mix in my 30 volume developer. I fill this measuring cup halfway to get the appropriate measurement. Now I'm just going to mix up the developer and the hair dye. And once it's completely mixed, consistency isn't going to be super runny. Now I'm just going to comb the hair on the frontal and then part a small section out and apply the dye to it. And you just want to take small sections, not too big, just to ensure that the dye is getting throughout the entire hair. And I'm going to use a rat tail comb just to make the parts, to part all the sections. And as you can see, I'm combing through the hair as I'm applying the dye. This hair has already been bleached by me, and I'm going to pluck it after the hair has been completely dyed and dried. Just to make sure that I'm getting dye on the front part of the hair, I'm going to use my rat tail comb just to make sure that the front is getting covered as well. I work my way up close to the roots because I definitely did not want red or burgundy roots. I wanted black roots as per usual, so I just stay about half a centimeter or half an inch away from the roots with the dye. So moving forward with this video, I'm not going to show every little thing because that'll be like a 30-minute video for no reason. I'm just going to continue doing this throughout the whole frontal, and if you guys have any questions at all, just put them down below in the comment section and I'll definitely get back to you guys. Continue watching this video to see how I finish dyeing this frontal and how I dye the bundles. I still had dye left over, so I just used the rest to go over the hair because I was using every last drop, okay? So this is how the frontal is after dyeing the entire thing. You can see that I have no dye on the lace and the roots are still black. So I usually use a plastic bag just because I feel like the color process works better in a plastic bag than just laying on foil, but that's just my preference. You can use aluminum foil if it works best for you, but I typically use a plastic bag. I fold the lace in half just to make sure that no color is getting on the lace or anything, and then I just tie the plastic bag and I let it process for a good hour and a half. Like, you have to be very patient with it. So now on to the bundles. So with the bundles, I want dark roots just so it matches the frontal. So I'm going to unravel some of the tie just to make sure that I don't have too much of the dark roots on it. I want like minimum dark roots. So I'm just gonna tie that real tight. I like keeping my bundles tied because it just makes it much easier than unraveling the entire thing and trying to dye each little section. But you guys will see why it's easier for me the way I do it. So this is how it looks after I tie it. And in comparison to this, I'd rather have the one on the left because I don't want my roots to be dark all the way through. With the bundles, I usually do each hair dye for each bundle. So I have 3 more boxes of hair dye left, so I'm going to use 1 box for each bundle. And I like to do it this way just to make sure that all the hair has the same equal amount of hair dye going onto it. Some people prefer to do all 3 boxes at once, but I feel like you never know your measurements with that. Like you can end up using all your dye on 2 bundles and you'll just have one sad ass bundle without any dye, you know? And I don't even have time for that, so I'd rather just use 1 box of dye per bundle. Just makes life easier for me. So I'm just gonna apply the hair dye from the bottom to the top, just like I did with the frontal. And I'm gonna make sure I get all the way up to where I made the knot. And I'm gonna continue to comb out the hair as I'm applying the hair dye. So I'm just going to flip the hair over on the other side just to see how that side looks, if it needs any more dye. And it most definitely does. So I'm just using the last of my hair dye to apply it to the back. And I'm really scraping for hair dye, so I guess that was the perfect amount of dye. I was scraping that bowl. But yeah, I'm just coating over the hair, just making sure that every little piece has dye, like I said. So now I'm just gonna twist it up a little bit, you know, do a little thingy thing. That looks like a donut. No, I'm just kidding. So I'm gonna put that in a plastic bag too, tie it up, and let it process. 3 hours later. Now this is the final look after I washed out the coloring and I let it air dry. I made the wig, customized the frontal, which means I bleached the knots on the frontal and I plucked the frontal for that natural hairline. So this is how the color came out. It's bomb as hell. And it's a nice subtle color. I like how it's not too bright. It's just that perfect burgundy color. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope you guys learned how to color your hair this bomb ass burgundy color. It's so pretty, and I hope you guys achieve this look if that's what you're aiming for. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next video. Bye, lovelies.